before jumping to the topic, very quickly, let me give you an introduction about myself. So my name is Vincenzo Toscano, founder and CEO of Ecomcy. So Ecomcy is a full service agency when it comes to Amazon, Walmart, and TikTok. We've been in the space for almost 8 years, so a long time. You can imagine all the things we have seen under the sun, the good and the bad. To date, I mean, we have worked with over 1,000 brands, and actually, we have a team right now of almost 90 people of staff in-house where we do everything for our brands from A to Z, which brings us to, of course, the portfolio that we have under our hands, which is around over 200 brands, combined around $500 million in revenue that we manage. So we have a lot of understanding of what works and what doesn't work, because the good thing as well of what we do at Ecomcy is that we're not one of those kind of agencies that only specialize on the big players. We also have, small players, medium players, and we always make sure that when something's applicable to one, to some extent, that can be applicable to the other, right? So everything you're going to be learning today and in future webinar, it comes down to things that we're doing on a daily basis to really bring the best to our clients. And beyond that, if you're really keen about learning and you really love this format, like this webinar, I invite you to check the e-commerce lab, where I have like over 500 episodes. You can imagine I've been doing this for 3 years. All the people you can think of, all the experts, is free. So check it out if you really want to stay ahead of the game when it comes to the latest strategies. So with that said, let's jump into the topic, which is everything that has to do with, the experiment of what people think Walmart is to the reality. Because I think the reality when it comes to Walmart is a lot of people still think that in 2026, Walmart is only an experiment. That is something that, there's not a lot of revenue there and it's just for small players. But the reality of it is that as of now, we are looking to potentially reach the 800 billion in revenue. And it keeps growing over a year after year. In fact, quarter after quarter, Walmart is been performing better than the quarter before. In fact, it's a marketplace that from the very beginning is been growing. And as of now, it captured close to 23% of the e-commerce share, right? We know that Amazon, when it comes to the United States, for example, we're already over the 50% mark. And of course, when I bring the 22%, you might think, oh, but it's only 22%. Why should I only focus on Amazon? And the reality is diversification. The issue we see right now, especially in 2026, where people are struggling, especially the ones that only do on Amazon, is because they'll put all the eggs in the same basket. They had all the catalog on Amazon. They didn't have anywhere else to rely on when it comes to really expand the revenue, or more importantly, improve the profitability. And now they pretty much stuck into the Amazon flying wheel, right? They need to keep putting more money into PPC, and there's nothing else they can do. On the other side of the question, there is a lot of brands. They actually have seen this long time ago that this was going to happen, and they have started to expand. And Walmart has been a very good marketplace for that. In fact, Walmart is being a marketplace job for a lot of our brands. If Walmart wasn't part of the question, they would be in such a more difficult situation as it stands. And the reality is because the demographic of Walmart is been changing drastically. I think every single time I talk about Walmart to people, the first thing they tell me is, oh no, but everybody that buys on Walmart is low earners, like people that barely can afford groceries, and they're very cheap when it comes to purchasing. But the reality of it is, and as you can see some of the figures, we're looking at almost 10% of people shopping on Walmart as of now are considered high income buyers. And this is a percentage that's actually getting higher and higher. And the reality is because we are seeing actually a big shift from high income buyers. And this is something, by the way, that I'm not only seeing on Amazon, because I also work with a lot of retailers. I also work with secondary, smaller marketplaces that consider more premium. I'm seeing a big shift of people going into marketplace such as Walmart, because people is becoming more conscious about what they're spending. That doesn't mean they cannot afford expensive things. They just have come to the conclusion that it's the same thing if you buy water for $10 or you buy for $2, right? Like there's certain things that just don't make sense to pay overpriced, and that's why Walmart's been capturing all these high income buyers, and actually the trend is getting higher and higher. Now, what happens? And we actually seen that even from Walmart themselves. In the retail location, they're putting more effort into also having what they call like the high-end kind of sections. And on Walmart.com, we also seen Walmart opening like the luxury section as well, allowing premium brands to actually have premium placement and things like that, because these kind of new buyers are coming into the picture. Now, why this is important to you, right? The reason why this is important to you is because if we have a look at the competitive landscape right now, everybody is killing themselves and going for Amazon. As of now, we have over 2 million active third-party sellers on Amazon. What is the disadvantage of that? Overcrowded, the advertising costs getting higher and higher because it's a supply and demand situation. And we're seeing that Amazon just becoming very rapidly a pay to play, right? So it's becoming very difficult for small players to succeed. On the other side of the question, if you look at Walmart, it's only close to 150,000 active sellers. So it's so much less competition you have. The second thing, most people sell on Amazon and Walmart. The reality of it is they don't really have a clear strategy. They just sometimes put a catalog in there, or they have a very plain advertising strategy. And that's a huge, huge strategy for you, because while everybody is putting all their eggs, in this case, on Amazon, we're seeing some small players on Walmart being able to capture these categories where it's so easy to get organic ranking and it's so easy to become the dominant player. So at the end of the day, it's an early move advantage that you're aiming to get on Walmart. We're seeing some categories. We have a lot of brands that this is the case already, that within 6 months, we dominate the niche. Not because our product is the best, it's because there's not a lot of people trying to compete with us. And when we bring a lot of the knowledge that we have on Amazon, that put us ahead of them very fast. So that's why this is something that you need to be aware of, because the opportunity is potentially going to go away, especially as most people start jumping into the marketplace. Now, I'm sure some of you are asking, okay, what are some of the categories we're having the biggest success? So I wanted to bring some examples here. So the ones we're seeing the best success when it comes to Walmart are the following categories. So you have the first category is home improvement. So that's actually the one that's doing the best for the brands that we manage on Walmart. Then you have pet supplies, then you have sporting goods, and then you have everything that has to do with electronics and all of that, which that one requires sometimes and groceries more approval from the Walmart side of things. But if you're on the top three, I think it's a no-brainer, especially home improvement, home decor, things like that. I mean, that's usually what people will go to Walmart for. So it's definitely a place you should be aiming for. Huh? Now, jumping into kind of the logistics of things, I think this is another thing that people need to be aware of, which is a lot of time when we think about Walmart, I'm surprised sometimes that that's the case. People is still thinking, oh, but with Walmart, the logistics of things is going to be a headache. What if I have my inventory on Amazon and all of that? The first thing is that WFS is expanding very rapidly, to the point that in most places now you have same day delivery or next day delivery. Walmart is actively actually working with the local stores to make the local stores what is called like a hotspot for a fulfillment center. So some of their grocery stores already are becoming a places where you can pick up your goods. And the reality is as they deploy this plan in the next 3 to 5 years, they're going to have more pickup places or warehouses, you can call them, that compare in this case to Amazon. Now, why this is something important that you should be aware of? Because this is essentially trying to see the writing on the wall. If you're aware of what is going to happen and now the competition is less, as we have seen, there's no better moment than jump right now into Walmart, right? And the other thing as well is that this comes down at the end of the day with the early mover advantage, right? I would say, and people ask me this all the time, Walmart right now, especially between last year and this year, is like Amazon 2014. It's still early stages, but it's having a faster rate of growth than what Amazon had in 2012, 2014, 2016. Now, if you look at the math and the ratio of growth, it's very simple to actually come to the conclusion that 3-5 years from now, we're gonna be in such a better place than what Amazon was back then. I mean, of course, Walmart is never gonna catch up with Amazon, so never assume that, because I don't think that's gonna be the case. But it's gonna be a strong competitor. Walmart is the only one that can really compete with them. And that's why I think if you jump now, you can definitely capture a lot of that shifting behavior when it comes to purchasing, right? Now, another thing I also mentioned in terms of answering, I guess, those doubts in terms of, okay, why should I jump into Walmart? What are some of those questions that I should ask myself if Walmart is the first place to a place to expand into? So the first thing is, I wouldn't say start Walmart from day zero. I would say at least spend a year or so on Amazon or your D2C, because the thing is, Walmart is not meant to create the cash flow or the momentum that you need to scale a brand, but it's meant to supplement that growth. So what I mean by that is, if you've already been selling for a year on Amazon and you want to diversify, it's perfect. But if you're looking to only do Walmart from day zero to create the momentum, you might struggle. The other thing that I also recommend is try to have a catalog that's ready to go when it comes to Walmart. So what I mean by that is, if you only have one product, for example, one SKU, and you know for a fact that this catalog is maybe not ideal for Walmart based on the categories I told you, I will stay away from Walmart, at least for now. And the third element is everything that has to do with the operational side of things and the customer service. So this is very important as well, because on Walmart, a mistake we see a lot is especially when it comes to quality of products, Walmart clients tends to be even more aggressive than in Amazon, at least from what we're seeing in our side. When it comes to complaining, there's a lot of refunds usually. So you need to make sure you have that really lean to make sure that doesn't backfire on you. Okay. Now the other thing I will actually bring to the table as well is that a lot of people on Amazon is talking about, Alexa shopping assistant, before called Rufus, and people are not aware that actually Walmart has the same. They actually call it Sparky, right? And this is something that we actually seeing becoming more and more strong. In fact, last time I met with some Walmart kind of people to discuss over this, they're seeing a huge increment in the engagement and also the basket value because of how people now engage with Sparky. Why do I want to briefly mention this? It's because this shows how Walmart is embracing the change. So Walmart clearly is not staying behind, then bringing also some AI to the platform. And the reason why you can leverage this is because whatever you're doing with Rufus now, Alexa for shopping, you can now also reciprocate that in Walmart and take advantage of that new way of shopping, right? Now, something I want to mention, huge mistake when you expand to Walmart, and this is my really the most important thing you have to take from this. Don't do the mistake of copy pasting everything to Walmart. That's something that people do. They copy all the keywords from the title, the bullet points, and all of that. And the reality is that the behavior you're gonna find on Walmart is different than Amazon. The certain phrases, keywords that people might find to then encounter your product might not be the same that in Amazon. So don't use the assumption. Go out there, do the research. There's many tools out there that can allow you to do that. And the same with the PPC. PPC on Walmart is also a bit different because, for example, in Walmart, you don't have negation of keywords. Certain bid instruction is a bit different. You can also optimize based on the device, for example. There's no such a thing as Amazon Marketing Cloud, so you have to be more clever how to tailor to the right audience. So there's fundamental things that if you just copy paste, that's where people hit the wall. So make sure you also tailor your strategy towards Walmart. Now, another thing I would like to also bring here, and this is just to bring you more figures, because at the end of the day, people have to see numbers to really understand how a Walmart is impacting. At the end of the day, what you see on the screen right now is the growth that a Walmart is being having, right? And Walmart, as of now, based on the figures that we're seeing, 2026 is the year where they're going to reach profitability level in the first time, because they've been running for a loss until now. And this shows something that is very simple. It shows that the operations are getting leaner. They understand the consumer better, which means there's less wasted spend across the way they do advertising and everything. And at the end of the day, it's only going to be reflected in Walmart putting more money towards getting more awareness and customers, right? So if you are able to reverse engineer some of these figures and think as an investor sitting on the boardroom that owns Walmart, if you are become profitable, what's the first thing you're going to do? You're going to pump more money to keep acquiring more consumers. So why this is something that I just very quickly wanted to bring to the table, because this shows what is going to happen in the next 2 to 3 years, which is more customers are going to come to the platform, and you can capture that, right? And this brings me to kind of some of my final slides, which is this is something I wanted to put together, which this is the kind of path I follow towards success on Walmart. The most important thing on Walmart, which is not usually the case for Amazon, is listing quality. On Amazon, you can have a very poor listing and still rank very high and get sales. On Walmart, if your score is not over 80%, they penalize you significantly. They have a scoring system. So make sure all your listings are over 80% because that's going to automatically give you more exposure and conversion. The second thing you also need to make sure is, especially when it comes to pricing, you need to make sure that you are able to automate that to maintain your buy box pricing, because we're also seeing lately Walmart having buy box issues depending what you do with Amazon. So find some repricer that can make sure that when you do something on Amazon, it's reflecting on Walmart, so you don't have any kind of buy box issues. And the final thing is the review. The good thing of essentially Walmart is that when it comes to reviews, they have a lot of programs. You have essentially the equivalent of Vine. Also, you have the syndicate program where you can bring reviews from your website, another platform if you are compliant. So again, it's much easier to get the ball rolling. But if you get these three layers, which are, I mean, there's many more layers, but these are the fundamental ones, you're gonna have a successful kind of snowball effect to then get things going, you know. And I would say the final thing is really understanding that the goal here and the vision is diversifying revenue. You know, what you're really trying to do is you want to make sure you don't rely only on Amazon, right? Because that's where Walmart comes into play. It can be your second window where people can find you, where you can capture new consumers. I think the beauty of Walmart as well is that we find sometimes we are able to capture consumers we will never capture on Amazon. And the other thing as well is being taking advantage of the compounding effect of being so vocal throughout the whole presentation. If you read the numbers, if you read the growth, if you see, and even if you look at their investment papers and what they're putting out there at the C level, you know that where they're heading is only gonna get bigger. And if you can read that and you can be early on, it's like when you buy a stock, right? It's like everybody, just to make a quick example, everybody now taking a bet on SpaceX. It's because they know what is gonna happen 5, 10 years. The same with Walmart, right? Taking a bet, but by looking at what is happening, it's clearly gonna be in the right direction for your brand. So that's everything from me. Like here, of course, what I would say is the beauty of Walmart is that it really varies to set up. I would say within 1 to 2 months, you can get up and running. So it's not complex. There's a lot of software that can make it easier for you. So take this, take action. And of course, with all the other presentation you're going to be taking today, I'm sure you're going to have a very smooth journey into Walmart. So that's everything from me, guys. Of course, I'm leaving my QR code here where you can scan, book a call with me, with my team, and we can explore how we can, of course, help you with the whole journey of getting you started in Walmart or even beyond Walmart. You know, we can help you with Amazon and TikTok as well. So thank you so much. And if any questions, of course, as I mentioned, we're then going to have a Q&A towards the end. Okay. Awesome. So that's everything from me. So next we have Daniel, right? You're next. Thank you.
Hey, yeah, thank you so much. I already so much good information, and I will actually also cover some of the points that you already mentioned, maybe a little bit more in depth. So basically, so my name is Daniel. I'm a co-founder of Geekseller. We've been working with Walmart since 2015. I don't know if you guys remember, but back in 2015, there was this new website called Jet.com that's supposed to take against Amazon, and Walmart later purchased, bought Jet.com, which I personally think that was the tipping point, and that was the very big beginning of Walmart expanding to e-commerce, and it helped them tremendously. So we've been working with them from the very start, and as much as Amazon is still dominating the e-commerce, for us as a company, Walmart is actually the most important marketplace. So many sellers that coming to us, they just come to us because they need help with Walmart. So we are working with those sellers. We learn a lot. We see what works, what doesn't work. I mean, we are multi-channel solution, so working with all the marketplaces, but still Walmart is a focus for us. So let me jump into my topic. which is 5 things that we see Walmart is doing right to keep growing market share, and they do grow the market share. So let me start with the first one. The first one is WFS. I already mentioned, which is Walmart Fulfillment Services. It's not always obvious for all the marketplaces to actually introduce this kind of service. The big advantage of Walmart is that Walmart is actually a physical retailer, right? This is how they started. So they have warehouses, they have fulfillment centers across the US. If you drive through US, you can see Walmart everywhere. You can see the logo, even in small towns, in large towns. So they have the warehouses, and they started taking advantage of it. It's not from the very beginning. They didn't introduce this at the very beginning of the marketplace. It took them a while to actually create the infrastructure, software, and it is something that sellers should use. This is what we see the biggest driver of growth on Walmart is when sellers actually start utilizing their fulfillment services. So, which means when you sell on Walmart, all you have to do is just put products to the warehouses and they take care of everything. Similar, really the same as FBA. They also introduced something called multi-channel fulfillment. So you can use their inventory to fulfill orders on Shopify, TikTok, eBay, even on Amazon. So you can use actually products that you store with Walmart to ship your FBM orders. And this is very crucial time also to start using it because again, yes, they are the player who's trying to gain as much as a share of the market. So they have very attractive pricing, and we see sellers migrating from other 3PLs, from other providers who take care of the logistics to WFS because of the cost savings. They have a lot of promotions right now. So it's pretty cheap to store products with them and ship products with WFS. Another one is recognizing that it's not easy and cheap to actually ship products. There is still a lot of issues with fraud, with mentioned returns, refunds that sellers, especially those who are fulfilling orders on their own, had to deal with. And Walmart recognized that and started helping sellers to actually get cheaper shipping labels. And this is something they introduced that is called Ship with Walmart. So you can purchase discounted shipping labels through Walmart, something that you can see on some of the marketplaces. Those who are doing well also introduced. So it gives you cheaper rates, but also of protection. And just in case package is lost or there's a refund requested, as a seller, you don't have to deal with this that much because you say, okay, I purchased those labels through Walmart. So Walmart gives you some protection and they take care of the issues. So that's something very smart that Walmart actually did recently. Now, they listen, improve, and deliver. I know it may sound cheesy, but this is really something that we see not many partners do. We actually work with, again, many marketplaces, and many marketplaces do not pay attention that much to partners, to technology partners, to their API. They make it super difficult to actually create the applications. It's very difficult to talk to the marketplaces, but Walmart makes it very simple. We, for example, have weekly calls with a representative from Walmart who tell us about some new things that are coming up, if there are any issues that we have, that our sellers have, we can talk to Walmart about it. And that kind of level of attention is not really common on all the other marketplaces. So we really see Walmart is a huge retailer, very mature company, but they have a startup spirit and they hire people who are really excited about things and they really iterate things, listen, and improve. So this is very positive things that we see that Walmart is doing to that help them to gain the shares of the market. High standards, also something I already mentioned. Walmart tries to bring quality sellers and quality products to the marketplace. And that's why it's not that difficult actually to start selling on Walmart, but it's kind of difficult to get to the marketplace. Something I already mentioned, it's quite difficult to actually create your business and the next week just start selling on Walmart to test it out. No, they actually check if you are a quality seller, if you have quality products, if you have experience, and that really helps to attract those buyers who have higher expectations and who have money to pay for quality products. They think long term, and you can see it. There are many smaller marketplaces that try to get to the market, and they try to flood the market with cheap products, with many sellers. They just go for the quantity, not for the quality of sellers and the offering. Walmart thinks long term. They invest a lot in AI, logistics, robotics, which is, for example, very important for fulfillment. Mentioned WFS. So, for example, they just automate things. There's no anymore manual labor working in their 3PLs in the warehouses, but everything is done by robots, which help also to drive all the cost down, and that's usually also reflected in the pricing that they can offer. So really thinking forward and investing in those long-term goals. So yes, I do recommend apply to Walmart. There's nothing that should stop you from doing this. Of course, you should do it when you are ready, and make sure that your catalog is prepared, that you have experience, at least a year of e-commerce experience with some decent sales, that you can also show to Walmart that you are eligible to sell on their marketplace. So yeah, learn more about the marketplace, apply. And also, if you have any questions, feel free to reach out to us, to Geekseller. Again, Walmart is one of the primary marketplace that we work with. Connect with me on LinkedIn. I also post a lot of content about updates for Walmart. So yeah, we are here to help. We are also joining in San Diego this big event that Walmart organizes. So if you are a Walmart seller, I really recommend to go to San Diego to Walmart Summit. It's in September 1 to 3. A lot of good content, and you can talk directly to Walmart employees and learn more about the marketplace, help them get help from them, and we will be also having our booth over there. So feel free to stop by to say hello, meet in person.
Thank you, Daniel.
So
That's
thank
awesome.
you.
Thank you so much. Yeah, I'm gonna see you in San Diego as well. Then I'm gonna be there.
Nice.
Cool. Great. So then next we have Srini. Yeah, welcome.
Hello. Hello, everybody.
How you doing? Good.
1 second, and let's
Sure.
share this.
By the way, everybody join us live. Remember, any questions, please feel free to drop them down below, and then we can answer towards that. Yeah.
Yeah,
Thank
can you see my screen?
Yeah, we can see the screen, Srini. Thank you.
Yeah. Good morning, good afternoon, everyone. My name is Srini Mamillapalli. I am the founder and CEO of Listora AI. Today, I'm going to spend a few minutes to prove that the answer is yes for why Walmart Marketplace is still a consideration in 2026. So the opportunity is massive, and there are 150K plus active sellers, and also there is a rapid seller growth. and millions of shoppers there already, and expanding assortment. And for new sellers, there are a lot of new seller savings that sellers should take advantage of it. So there is 30% of base referral fees, and also there are 2K in WFS credits, and then 1K in Walmart Connect ad credits. So all of those new sellers take advantage of those. And so for the AI use, scaling Walmart Marketplace with AI. So from listing to win the buy box or buy box automation or repricer. So that's where AI comes in. It takes you from a blank listing all the way to win the buy box, creating listing, optimizing listings, and repricing all of those. So at Listora AI, what we do is, for the sellers, whoever, they are transferring catalog from Walmart or eBay from Amazon or eBay to Walmart. At Listora AI, we help them to move their, stuff catalog in just, three simple clicks. So what they can do is they can log into our Listora AI, connect to their marketplaces like Walmart, Amazon, and eBay, and they can choose whatever ASINs from Walmart or eBay that they want to move easily, and then put all those ASINs there and just click import. What we do is we fetch all the data, the titles, bullet points, descriptions, all the images, and then there are variations also, all the variants. And then it's better always for them to rewrite the content based on the Walmart, guidelines. So there is two options. They can simply transfer as is, or they can ask our application to rewrite the content. So using AI, we review all the descriptions, images, and write the content based on the Walmart guidelines in seconds. And then we autofill all the attributes, all the required fields, all of that stuff, and then they can simply review it. And we map all the variations also, and then simply they can click publish. So it's simple steps, 3 to 4 clicks. They can move all the catalog from Amazon or eBay to Walmart. Or they can import everything. And also using AI, there are a lot of buy box criteria sellers can set up there. They can choose to match the buy box or beat by certain percentage or certain amount, a cent or maybe percentage. And they can choose other strategies ROI based, like giving the product markup and the cost of it. And then there are fixed profit they can set up, or they can set up manual minimum maximum price per listings. And also there are other options for them to win is auto price rise. When the price, when they keep on winning it, automatically they set up to raise the price to get the more margin. And also inventory is markdowns, when your items are sitting at Walmart fulfillment center, and then you can put some age markdown to reduce the price to clear the stock quickly. There are many criteria that sellers can set up to win the buy boxes. And for the buy boxes, mainly there are a few things that they have to follow. So the score is very important. It should be minimum 80 and above. So get your price competitive first. That is the first thing. Then you can to speed up your shipping, and then make your shipping reliable, not just fast. Reliability is very important. And also build up your ratings and reviews for your products. and also strengthen your content always. So including all of those, Walmart calculates the scoring. And for the new sellers, right, as Daniel mentioned, we have some exclusive referral links where sellers can submit it. So you can contact any of us to submit you as a referral, so that you no need to wait for the in the long queue for Walmart to review your applications and approve it. So any of the service providers like me or Daniel or anyone here, if they submit your new listing application, then it will go to a special process where a dedicated business associate will be assigned to them, and then they will review the application quickly rather than submitting by themselves, and then they can approve it once you provide all the details. So that is pretty much from my side.
Thanks,
Thank you.
Srini. That's very insightful. Appreciate that. Thank you so much.
Thank you.
Cool. We have next Fabrizio. Right there.
Yep. Can you hear me and see my screen?
Yeah. Yes, we can. Thank you.
Awesome.
Thank you.
Right. So thanks everybody for joining. I know a lot of people sign up and don't join live and watch it later. So thank you for watching later if you're in that group. I'm the CEO and founder of Fleabr. Fleabr is an inventory planning platform. We're now launching in beta what we call Fleabr Studio, which is pretty much, think of Cloud Code connected to your whole inventory stack. You can build agents, workflows, and etc. It's pretty exciting. I'm not here to talk about Fleabr. This is going to go to every participant. I'm just breezing through. If you want to see what customers talk about us, go to G2, and that's it. So today I'm talking about how to prepare your inventory strategy before expanding to Walmart. So everybody here, the way the webinar was made is that we approach different layers of the problem, right? So most people are talking about how to sell listings and etc., which is a great approach, but usually everybody's very worried about that side of the equation. What product should I list? How do I optimize my content? How do I win visibility? What will be my ad strategy? But when you're expanding to new channels, those are not the right questions. The right question is, do I have the inventory strategy to support one more channel without hurting the channels that I already have? In the end of the day, expanding to a new channel is not a channel decision, it's an inventory decision. And this is what's most important for everybody to understand. None of the brilliant things everybody talked about up to now, which were amazing, work if you don't have the right inventory strategy. So you should start by thinking about the inventory strategy, what you're going to do in terms of inventory as you ramp up. If you think about it, with digital sales on Amazon and Walmart, sales are digital, advertising is digital, the customer is digital, payment is digital, but the inventory is physical. So inventory will always be at the center of all complexities. Bear that in mind. Let's say you're starting on Amazon. You can send directly from supplier to FBA. You can have a small, like even in your house, something with inventory. Very simple, one channel, one inventory location, one action to be made, which is the purchase action. Then you start increasing volume. You might add AWD to the equation. You still have only one action because AWD is the one auto-transferring products to FBA. So you still only need to worry about a purchase. And then you add Walmart. And when you add Walmart, it's two channels, but now you have 4 inventory locations and 3 actions. Even if when you add Walmart, you decide to use multi-channel fulfillment from FBA or even AWD sending to WFS, this, what's on the screen is what you're signing up for the future, if you're successful, which we all hope you're going to be. So you go from one action to now 3 actions. You need to manage the purchase to AWD, manage the purchase to 3PLs, manage the transfers to WFS, while AWD auto transfers to FBA. And the impact on inventory is that you now have more nodes, and with more nodes, you have more inventory sitting on those nodes. So this is if you have only AWD and FBA. Let's assume you have 20 units per day of average sales. You have a target of 30 days on FBA, 60 days on AWD. Then you have roughly 1,800 units in stock. If you add Walmart, now you have 2 more nodes of inventory, and suddenly you added, let's assume Walmart is going to sell half of what you sell on Amazon. You have half more, 50% more inventory sitting. But the most important part of this is that you have more points of breakage. You can't be overstocked on WFS and stocked out at the 3PL, and there's not much you can do. You can be overstocked at AWD and stocked out at 3PL. You may be able to rebalance here. There's a lot of complexities to do that. But my point is you have more points where you are holding inventory, and you might be having different issues in different inventory points. So this increases in complexity exponentially. You also have more complex forecasting, because now when you forecast for your supplier, you're talking about the different demands from 2 channels and not 1 channel anymore. You have different individual demands, you have different lead times, you have different safety stocks if you want to actually be efficient, different replenishment parameters, etc. It's all different. So combining all of that also grows in complexity exponentially. So before launching, ask yourself the following questions. First, which SKUs should I launch? Check SKUs with proven demand on other channels and the clear product market fit for Walmart shoppers. I think it was Vincenzo who talked a little bit about that in the beginning, how it's important to understand how the SKU adapts to Walmart. Do your homework. Don't just get the catalog from Amazon and paste it into Walmart. That doesn't work. Second, products with healthy margin after Walmart fees, fulfillment, and ad spend. Once more, do your homework. Check the margin. Check how much it's gonna cost. They have very different cost structures overall. Third, enough available inventory to test without hurting Amazon or other channels. Understand what you need to test. What are the products that you intend to sell? It's a new channel. You don't know how you're going to perform. Many times the product that doesn't sell well on Amazon sells very well on Walmart, and vice versa. Products that are champions on Amazon don't sell well on Walmart. So understand a little bit of what is your strategy to grow that. Fourth, simple fulfillment requires. Avoid complex products to start. Avoid the products that WFX is not going to accept, or if you're going to have a bunch of different requirements to sell on Walmart. Then the second question, how much inventory should Walmart get? So how much is protected from existing channels? How much can be exposed to Walmart? Understand your inventory strategy. Understand how much you have today. Understand how much you can allocate. What inventory is reserved for ads and launch campaigns? Very important. A lot of people don't think about that. In the beginning, you're offloading inventory to try to grow on that channel. Have that in mind. It's not only what you're going to grow organically, it's what you're going to push in that new channel. What should be my reorder trigger? This is also very important. What are the triggers that you're going to have for WFS? Are you going to ship from AWD, which is complex? Are you going to have your 3PL? Are you going to send directly from the supplier? All of these things have to be thought out before. What happens if demand grows 2 times or is only 50% of what you forecasted? Prepare for that, because you might be overstocked on Walmart, and that's the worst thing you can have is products sitting on WFS that you don't sell. Another question: where should inventory sit? What is the cost of starting without WFS? Does it make sense for you to not have WFS and do the test without having the benefits of WFS? If WFS is needed from start, can I use AWD as a storage warehouse to start? What is the trigger to migrate to a 3PL plus WFS structure, which is ultimately what everybody does because of cost and complexity? What is my replenishment strategy? What should be my safety stock at WFS? What should be my safety stock at 3PL? Does it make financial sense to rebalance between AWD and 3PL? What should be my reorder trigger? Anyways, there's a bunch of different questions here that you need to think about. The right launch checklist, you have to think about assortment. Which SKUs am I ready to launch? Availability. Do we have enough inventory? Allocation. How much inventory goes to Walmart? How much goes to Amazon and other channels? Fulfillment. Should each SKU be WFS, seller fulfilled, 3PL, hybrid? Replenishment. What days of supply threshold triggers an action? Very important. Forecasting. Are we forecasting separately? Guessing from Amazon demand. How are we forecasting this beginning? What are the options when a SKU is at risk, overstock, delayed, etc.? Cleaver can help with a bunch of what I said. Inventory planning is what we do. We've been around for 7 years. We are a startup that is backed by investors. We raised $20 million. We serve hundreds of brands. So we're here to help. This barcode, the QR code takes you to my personal Calendly link. So you can book a demo directly with me. Mention this webinar and we'll give you 30% discounts for the first 6 months. Right.
Thank you.
See you
That's
guys.
awesome.
Thanks.
Thank you, Fabrizio. That was very good. Thank you so much for sharing. Awesome. So now we jump into the last presentation of the day. So Tahir, how are you doing?
Yes, sir, I'm here. Hey, guys.
Thank you. Welcome, welcome.
Let me share my screen.
Awesome.
Okay, can everyone see my screen?
Yes, we can.
No,
No, actually, no.
I can't see your screen.
No, I can't actually. Not yet.
You cannot?
No, I cannot see the screen.
Oh. How about now?
Now it's loading. Yes.
Yep.
Good. Just put it on full screen.
Doing that now. Okay, so hi everyone. I'm Tahir Khan from Rocket Seller, and I may sound a little hoarse because I'm down with flu. Now, before I start, everyone stole my thunder by presenting a compelling case why you should be on Walmart in 2026. I'm going to talk about the part where that prevents sellers from actually taking the action, the cost of selling on one additional channel. My promise to you in the next 10 minutes, we'll address each of these components one by one and try to bring those costs down to zero. So let's get started. Now, Walmart's third-party sellers grew 50% year over year, and they've seen tremendous growth. Vincenzo and everyone else addressed that. The active third-party seller count went up from 160 to 200K. 25% plus revenue contributed by e-commerce alone to Walmart's annual sales. So they are pushing it very hard. What sellers generally miss is the 44% that Amazon Ads Connect added. Your ad dollars are funding discovery, and your listing has a real shot of being discovered. So the bottom line is Walmart as a channel. It's not a debate anymore. So why do most of the sellers do not have a Walmart store, or they treat it as a bastard child, which I did earlier? Moving on. This is the overarching problem. Whenever I talk to sellers and I ask them, why aren't you on Walmart? The overarching thing is, I don't have time to manage an entire channel. And they're not completely wrong. The cost of operating an additional challenge just compounds. You put blood, sweat, and tears into Amazon. Now you have a secondary channel to stand up, keeping it alive, and managing it completely. And this is the problem that prevents most sellers from taking action. The good news, look at this. Sellers are not scared of Walmart sellers or the fees, but the additional problem that comes with managing another marketplace. It's an operational problem. The good news, operational problems can be engineered away. So let's talk about these cost components that are such a almost insurmountable problem that people think. You have to rebuild listings and images and bullet points and attributes and duplicate them everywhere. Sync price and inventory. If you don't do that, you oversell and take a hit to your account health. Variations and SKUs almost never map one-to-one. And then this is the silent killer. You're selling on Amazon, you optimize a listing, and now your Amazon listing is contradicting directly what is on different channels. So now that compounds with every SKU you add and every edit you make. So people, when they say that I don't have the time, this is the problem they're talking about, and they're right, but they're wrong about it not being unavoidable. So if you imagine now you have one problem, you're selling on Walmart, now you start selling on TikTok Shop or eBay or wherever. So now you have several, and it can compound with every channel you add. That's hours a week of your most capable people copying, pasting, and reconciling content rather than focusing on growth. What if you could just remove all these barriers, noise? What if you could remove this operational tax? In that case, Walmart stops being a project and becomes just a checkbox for you to fill. And that's exactly what we built at Rocket Seller. We have a suite of products. Channel Pilot is one of those. What we do is you worked on your Amazon catalog, you put blood, sweat, and tears. You have optimized it. We use that as a single source of truth and synchronize your inventory, your pricing, your listings everywhere. So what happens is as you keep adding channels, the same engine replicates everywhere without you having to do anything. So today's talk is about Walmart. What if the same channel can be used to replicate your success across Shopify, eBay, Etsy, Newegg, TikTok, without you having to do anything? And the beautiful part is you can use your FBA inventory or your WFS inventory as a source to fill orders that are coming from all these different platforms. So your entire operational problem is solved. All you do is connect your different marketplaces that are product supports, and you're everywhere in days. So you don't have to wait months and weeks, or you don't have to hire expensive VAs. It's all done for you. So the one mental model I want to take you away from this today is you just manage Amazon. Channel Pilot manages the rest. So if you do it manually today, you're rebuilding your catalog, you're syncing your inventory and pricing, you're managing content, everything else. With Channel Pilot, everything is done for you. So no manual intervention, just connect your platform, marketplaces, and you're off to the races. Now, this is what the data says. Top categories, and this has been my personal experience. I was selling toys on Amazon. I synced my inventory because I didn't have to pay a service provider to sync my inventory. I synced it to Walmart. I sold 4 items of the toy, and I sold 12 items of the toys on Walmart. So I know for a fact I do toys and health and beauty, health and electronics and automotive. They've started getting it. I play in beauty. It doesn't do that well, but our sellers, mostly that come to Channel Pilot, they're playing in automotive, pet supplies, and toys and games, and they've had stupendous success, sometimes to the tune of 15 to 20% of their Amazon sales. So in closing, the opportunity was never the question. The operational issues, the operational problems, those were the issues that always presented themselves as almost insurmountable. And what if you could just take that operational tax away and be on every platform? And that's exactly what we do. If you have any questions, you can drop them in the chat, and Vincenzo will take care of it. You can find me on LinkedIn, and you can contact me on info@rocketseller.com. Thank you everyone for watching live, or if you're watching it on a live recording.
Thank you, Tahir. I appreciate it. That's great.
Sure.
Awesome. Guys, so thank you so much. All of them, amazing presentation, very insightful. So thank you so much. I think what I want to do now is open Q&A, so we can go very quickly over some of the questions, and make sure we can, really squeeze as much as possible, the knowledge and the value you can bring to the table. So I had actually some questions here. So what I'm gonna do, I'm gonna start with some of the questions I had here. And then, of course, we can combine it with some of the live ones. Actually, let's start with one of the ones we have already here. I think we have Henry who is asking, will we as seller be able to see your score? For example, if we are targeting 80%. I'm assuming this has to do with the listing score. So I don't know if somebody from the speakers wants to answer.
Yeah, they can see the score. So if it is a new listing, then it will take a few weeks to see the score there. But if it is already existing listing there out there for a few months, then they can see the score there.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
Thank you.
One thing I would like to add to this is, it's been my experience, and you guys can chip in. Don't violate CPT, which is cumulative pricing threshold. If Walmart finds out that you are selling for cheaper elsewhere rather than on their platform, you're never going to get to that 80% magic number.
Very good insight. Thank you. Cool. We have some more questions, but I can see they were asking regarding commissions and I think so Daniel already answered that. So thank you for that. Let's see. Okay, they also asking, you also mentioned WFS can do fulfillment for other platforms. For example, can WFS can do direct to consumer, Temu or TikTok? Who wants to answer that?
Yeah, I can take that. So WFS has this feature called multi-channel fulfillment, and yes, they can ship orders to any platform, including TikTok and Temu, and they send everything automatically with a blank box, so you will not see any logos on Walmart. And they actually also allow you to customize which shipping carriers you want to use, because some marketplaces, actually TikTok Shop, they do not allow you to use USPS to ship products unless you use USPS account provided by TikTok. So you can customize the way you want to ship those products from WFS. So I think so. Yeah. So the answer is that yes. You can Google MCS, Walmart WFS MCS, to learn more, which stands for multi-channel solution.
Yeah, I just wanted to add something here, Vincenzo, that Amazon also allows you to fulfill through MCF, multi-channel fulfillment. But those solutions, in my view, they should be temporary while you are ramping up.
Okay.
Because they are expensive, they are faulty some levels. So it's not a streamlined solution like for their own channel. So I think it's a great way for you to introduce the products, but it's not the way that you should perform after you ramp up the channel. That's my 2 cents.
Agree. Yeah, I agree. Like a lot of these, at the end of the day, even for Amazon, a lot of sometimes these logistic options are more to get the ball rolling, but after a certain volume, it makes sense that you start taking things in-house or with a partner. Yeah, 100%. So I can see Faisal also asks, the issue that has stopped us from expanding to WFS is that they require their own unique barcode on the products versus using the same barcode product we have in stock already. This also prohibits us from using AWD to WFS inventory. Any way around this for third-party brand XM sellers? So I think what they're asking is, which I know what they mean, a lot of resellers, sometimes they sell on Amazon, they are barcode exempt, so they don't need a barcode on Amazon. But then they want to use the same inventory for Walmart, and Walmart requires you one. So I guess they're asking if there is some kind of exemption you can apply for Walmart, or you still need to have your own UPCs and everything for Walmart.
Yeah. Go ahead, Daniel.
Yeah.
I know.
Yeah, I can take that. I mean, because we deal with this a lot, actually. And many sellers come, they say, We don't have UPC code, and yeah, you need UPC code to send Walmart. Exemption, you can get exemption if you have a good case. What we see, people are approved when they are a manufacturer. That, for example, you create I don't know, a bolt or something that is like you would need like thousands of UPC codes actually to list products. So then you can get an exemption. But other than that, yes, you need a UPC code. You have to own it. Yeah, I don't know if Fabricio, you have anything else to add.
No, I was gonna answer that, but you're much more of a specialist on that front than I am. So great that you responded.
Awesome. Thank you, guys. Cool. I had some questions here I wanted to bring. So one question I get asked a lot is, what are some of the mistakes usually people do when starting on Walmart? Of course, a lot of us cover a few of them, but if maybe each of you can point to one mistake each, what would that be? If there is a mistake, oh my God, people keep doing this over and over, they have to stop this.
I can start here. I think it's not even about inventory only. There's a bunch about inventory, but I think it's thinking that Walmart is going to behave like Amazon and just replicating on Walmart the strategy that we use for Amazon. I think that is by far the biggest mistake I see. Not only the way to list products, the names of the products, the products that you'll decide to sell, how you're going to position, advertising, things like that. Those are very different channels. The audience is different. Vincenzo, you touched a little bit about that. The audience is different. The reason people are searching for products there is different. So I think you have to do your homework. It's a sentence that you said, Vincenzo, that stuck in my head. Don't think that is just replicating Amazon. It's actually opening a new channel. Do the work, otherwise you're going to fail.
Yeah, I agree. What about others, guys? Any other mistakes or anything you guys want to add? So,
I can add that. Yeah, go ahead. Sorry.
Go ahead.
Okay. Yeah. So, okay. Thank you. So yeah, I mean, for just a quick mistake that we see over and over on how we see sellers are banned because they do not understand shipping templates and they are messing up with the settings and they are surprised that they're supposed to ship a product by this time, this day, and that gets you very quickly banned. So I think like the one thing that you have to know and you have to configure properly. Just make sure that you understand shipping settings and shipping templates that will prevent you from getting banned on Walmart.
That's one of the things that I was going to. You stole my thunder, Daniel, again.
good. So another thing I would like to actually ask, and in fact, I can see here the question here at the bottom, just to make sure we can answer them to Faisal. He said, to clarify, we already have the GT and product barcode through Amazon system, but the roadblock is that Walmart doesn't accept Amazon generated FNSQ barcodes and require their own, which means we need to have dedicated barcodes. Yeah, I mean, this is just to clarify this before we keep going with the Q&A. That's exactly what we meant. Is like the FNSQ from Amazon is not considered a barcode outside of Amazon ecosystem. So you need one barcode, which is in this case the GT one. Yeah. Yeah. Cool. Anybody else wants to add another mistake before I jump into the next one? Another thing I wanted to add, which I get asked that a lot, is let's say someone expanding to Walmart, how you decide which SKUs to go for? Because a lot of people have more than one SKU, and then it becomes a situation, okay, which SKU I should actually aim for to expand. Is there something you guys use as a guideline to say, okay, I should go with this SKU over this SKU? How you make that decision?
As far as advising sellers on what SKU to push to Walmart and what would you do? Well, I would stick to the conventional wisdom. If you're playing in one of the 6 categories that do well, I don't. To me, the decision relies at the category level. If you're doing scientific scientific instruments or something, then I would not consider them to be synced to Walmart. each marketplace, in my experience, and others may chime in, it's the marketplace, the way it grew. Take, for example, Walmart came from a big box retailer mentality, and that reflects in some of their technical infrastructure. It's not as clean cut as Amazon. So they favor the platform favors certain categories that traditionally people have bought from them in their big box stores, and that reflects in the sales. Initially, from in 2022, most of the products that were doing well were in pet supplies and toys. Now that is changing. In 2024, I had to pull out my beauty category from Walmart because it wasn't doing anything. I was just paying money to them to store in WFS. But now that the demographics and they're changing from a big box a mentality, and especially putting money towards brand cautious buyers, and
Yeah.
I've seen that, and that shows in the data. Now beauty has started picking up on Walmart, so I may look back at pushing mine. So to me, it depends on the category. You need to understand the platform that you're selling on, what sells well, and then stick. So the decision for me, it's at the category level.
Nice. Cool. Anybody wants to add anything to that? Cool. And I think another question I would like to add, and I guess we can start using this one to bring this to a closure. It has to do a lot with the level of investment Walmart might require compared to our platforms. A lot of times people want to know, okay, let's say I'm investing 10,000 per month on advertising on Amazon. Is there a rule of thumb you guys recommend? It's like 5% of that, 10% of that, 20% of that. I'm curious to know what is your take on that. Do you guys recommend allocating a percentage of what they do on Amazon for Walmart or maybe D2C when expanding to Walmart? Is there some rule of thumb you guys have figured out or not really?
Well, I can speak from my personal experience. On Amazon, I was losing my shirt, and I also play in sports and outdoors. So what I did initially was budgeted no more than 17%, and regardless of whether the sales were coming in or not, I was stuck at 17%. That was my max I was going to put into the
Mhm.
budget. But what's around, I ended up, and this is dated experience. I'm talking 2024. I spent about 14% before the needle started moving, actually. I mean, that I also aggressively priced on Walmart. So I
Mhm.
think there's no magic number, but I would stick with between 17 and 20%. Around 13% of your ad spend is, in my experience, it started moving the needle. And slowly I dropped my ad spend and I focused on organic ranking. Plus, I joined the review program, which I paid $5 per listing. And started getting reviews. I don't know whether that program is still available, but I
Mm.
don't have any reason to believe it's not, and that actually helped. So that I used a prong strategy: spend money to get reviews, and that is legal. Plus ad spend, and then getting your organic ranking up, and then slowly pulling back on ad spend and letting your organic ranking take over.
Good. That's a good answer. Very nice. Anybody has anything to add to that from my personal experience as well? Okay. I mean, from my side, just to add, and I guess to conclude with this, like I do something similar in the sense that usually what I recommend is whatever you do on Amazon from an investment perspective, usually the percentage that work very well for me is 20 to 30%. So if I'm doing 10,000 on advertising on Amazon, I usually start with 2,000, 3,000 max on Walmart. Then I start to see conversion, start to see profitability. And then from there, based on how it behaves, organ ranking and everything, that's what I decided to ramp it up or dial it back, but something similar to what you just described. So yeah. Cool. So I think with that, And I think we can finalize this one final question we can end. Faisal asks, how many months should it typically take to reach profitable return on investment on ads on Walmart? What is your take on that, guys?
How do you define profitability?
That's a good question. Yeah, profitability can be many
Love
things.
the question.
Yeah, it depends on what your ad spend is, what your costs are. I mean, this answer cannot be in a vacuum. I cannot easily answer just from this question.
Yeah, to be honest, yeah, Faisal, it can be depending on the product, and also it's not comparable to Amazon because fee structures is different. But I would say, just as a rule of thumb, if you want an answer in terms of months, I will never aim for profitability or return on investment that is sustainable before 6 months. 6 months is the bare minimum. So I would say if you need a number to come up, at least aim for 6 months to give yourself enough time to test the platform and make a decision.
Yeah, I agree 100%. And with regards to inventory, is the same thing. I think you should understand that you are going to offload inventory ahead of time to be able to grow in the channel. Don't try to be efficient in inventory in the beginning with Walmart. Otherwise, you're not going to be successful too.
Yeah. Awesome, guys. So I think that brings us to the end of today's webinar. First of all, I want to thank you all for being here. Thank you so much. This was so much value as usual. And for everybody that joined us live, thank you so much for being here. And for those that couldn't or joined halfway, remember this recording is going to be sent to everybody that joined and sign up for the webinar. So other than that, I just want to remind you guys to, really take action, take this home and try to implement it, because a lot of the things you learn today is really what is moving the needle when it comes to Walmart. So I really want you to go back home, do your homework, and see where you can maximize that for your business. For me, it's been a pleasure to host this on behalf of Ecomcy, and I'm really looking forward to hopefully seeing you on future editions of this webinar series. And I just want to wish you an amazing rest of the week. And I wish you also an amazing, 2026 if I don't see you. So you keep crushing it. Okay. So thank you so much, guys. It was a pleasure.
Thank you
Thank
very
you,
much.
guys.
Bye bye. Take care. Bye-bye.